Then they brandished weapons at the ship's crew and ordered them to
Who are the Houthis and why are they disrupting shipping in the Red Sea? Also called Ansar Allah, supporters of God, the Houthis are well known all over the world as a military and political movement situated in Yemen. While understanding who the Houthis are and the reason for their disruption to shipping in the Red Sea can be a little tricky, we're here to break down the discussion for you. Let's get right to it. When did the group emerge? The Houthis kicked things off in the early 1990s in northern Sada Governorate in Yemen, having been named after its founder, Hussein Badreddin al-Houthi. It drew its ideology mainly from a type of Shia Islam well known in northern Yemen, Zaydism. Why did the group emerge? Zaydis believe that Muslims should be ruled by a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad called Imam. Whilst Imams ruled Yemen for thousands of years, their leadership came to a halt in 1962 when they stopped representing the majority of the country and Zaydis felt discriminated against by the government. This called for the rise of the Houthis to bring about change in the form of a religious and cultural movement advocating for Zaydis' rights. How did the group progress? Over time, the Houthis developed to become a broader military and political entity with bigger ambitions beyond the concerns of their government. At the turn of the 21st century, the Houthis were responsible for a range of rebellions against Yemen's authoritarian president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, with intention of gaining more independence for the group's homeland in northern Yemen. Since then, the group has engaged in multiple uprisings and armed rebellions against the government, hoping to challenge its authority further. The role of Hadi. As 2011 hit, a Houthis uprising forced the president to transfer his power to his deputy, Abdurrabbu Mansur Hadi. Unfortunately, under Hadi's rule, the new government was riddled with issues, and the Houthis were able to seize control of the northern province of Sada before going further and taking Yemen's capital, Sana'a, in 2014. This helped them heavily expand their territorial control and caused the collapse of Hadi's government and the formation of multiple different factions. Alliance with Saleh. In a turn of events, the Houthis formed a surprising alliance with Saleh in May 2015, whose security forces were still loyal to him. This gave the military group a significant advantage and a vast amount of international attention. A year later, Saleh's party agreed to form a political council with the Houthis to run the country, and Hadi was forced to flee abroad when the rebels gained control of parts of western Yemen. However, the cracks in the relationship would soon start to show. The Houthis declared Saleh's description of them as a militia, which heightened tensions between the two. Relations spiraled even further downwards when Saleh's advisor was shot dead. The Houthis then claimed that they had never forged an alliance with Saleh, suggesting that they had a popular mandate, with the majority of their fighters emerging from historically loyal tribes. In 2017, Saleh withdrew from his coalition with the military group and made allies of his previous opponents, Saudi Arabia. The Houthis declared Saleh as treasonous, and a Houthi sniper murdered him in the same year. So, where does Saudi Arabia fit into this? Meanwhile, neighbor Saudi Arabia feared that the Houthis would seize control of Yemen and make it a satellite of its enemy, Iran. Thus, it formed a coalition of Arab countries that intervened in the war. However, countless years of fighting and airstrikes have not managed to dislodge the Houthis from the majority of the territory they gained, resulting in a considerable humanitarian crisis. The war has seen hundreds of thousands of deaths. Alongside widespread famine, disease outbreaks, and human rights abuses, the work of the Houthis has been devastating. Despite this, they deny all these allegations, arguing that they act against external aggression and operate to defend Yemeni sovereignty. So, why are the Houthis disrupting shipping in the Red Sea? There are a number of reasons why this group are disrupting Red Sea shipping. We can only describe the strategic location of the water as a crucial maritime route connecting the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. This only means that disrupting the route would have a considerable economic and geopolitical impact worldwide. elevating shipping costs and disrupting trade efficiencies. Furthermore, the Houthis' strategic advantage of controlling the Red Sea's shipping processes enables them to exert pressure on their opponents. The group can showcase their military capabilities by focusing on commercial vessels and even scare their rivals into yielding. The Houthis may also want to interfere in regional affairs. The Yemeni conflict has gained the attention of regional powers like Saudi Arabia and Iran. In gaining Iran's support, the famous military group have consistently targeted Saudi Arabia instead, a Middle Eastern country which borders the Red Sea, with missile attacks. By disrupting Red Sea shipping, the Houthis aim to burden Saudi Arabia with pressure and get revenge for its military intervention back in Yemen. This also helps Iran's broader efforts to challenge regional opponents and gain influence in the Middle East as a whole. And finally, seeking leverage may be the final reasons for the Houthis' disruption to shipping in the Red Sea. This action aims to help them gain negotiation leverage and influence regional dynamics. By causing instability in such a crucial maritime route, the Houthis can raise awareness of their demands, possibly making it more likely that they will fulfill their goals. Today, the Houthis remain a dominant actor in Yemeni politics and continue to exercise power over substantial territory there, including a selection of major cities such as Sana'a, as well as the Red Sea coastline. As most of Yemen's population resides in these areas under the control of the Houthis' regulations, this group has significant power, and their disruption of shipping in the Red Sea could be seen as a manifestation of the broader conflict dynamics in Yemen and the Middle Eastern region. Their conflict involvement has deepened complications in achieving a peaceful resolution and has gained international attention because of its devastating impact on humanitarian conditions and regional stability. How are other countries responding to the Houthis? When it comes to the global response to the Houthis, our attention is immediately drawn to the US and UK's stance. Recently, these superpowers coordinated airstrikes on the Houthis in Yemen, while the US went on to conduct further strikes. President Biden and Prime Minister Sunak agreed that fighting back was necessary to protect worldwide shipping, as the Houthis were jeopardizing trade efforts. However, the response to the Houthis has remained controversial. A source from The Guardian claims that the Houthis appear only strengthened by the long years of war, which saw Saudi Arabia drop billions of pounds worth of bombs on Yemen, suggesting that this group's capabilities should not be underestimated where war is concerned. To support this further, a report states that the Houthis will refuse to back down after the strikes on Yemen by the UK and the US, stating that Houthi capabilities have not been taken seriously enough for the past 5 years. Indeed, Iran has escalated the Houthis' drone and missile forces significantly, whilst the group's recklessness and willingness to escalate in the face of a challenge is also significant and always underrated. So, what are your thoughts on this topic? Are the US and the UK right to intervene? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for giving this video a watch, and remember to like and subscribe. We'll be back shortly with more.